I gotta sign in it? It's my fucking thing. So dumb. Oh, right. Morning, Matt B. Sorry, man, just getting myself situated. I'm just using OBS, which I've never used before. So that's interesting. I know. I'm so lousy when it comes to organising anything like this. But I thought it was probably high time I, did a stream or something like this. Just waiting for Unreal Engine to start up. You do what you have to do. Hey, thanks, buddy. This is such a good camera angle too. You get to see my ball patch. What a champion camera angle. Hurry up, man. Why is this taking so long? There we go. Yeah, be good. I don't know. It's good to show everyone the new look, I guess. Anyone who wants to can have a nosy. But also, uh, doing it as a live stream, it means that it'll just become a video afterwards for people to watch. So it can also function as well as the monthly update. So there's that too. Here we go. Now, unfortunately, I'm using 3 screens for this setup, but I can only really show one So I'll show the main one. It just means there's going to be times I'm doing stuff off screen. Oh shit, too fast. Slow it down. There we go. Oh. So this is the new model of the mum-in-law. Her name's Raywin. Such a Kiwi name. Raywin. That's the new model of Michael. The old model, I think I've got a photo I can show you of the old model. Certainly wasn't as good. Yeah, that's the old model of Michael. Looks very 2003 PS1 style cutscene. Yeah. So the new one, he's a bit more slick looking. He's you know, a bit more handsome, I guess. And just in case you don't know who it is, we've got a name badge for him too. So yes, and there's a fucking massive car here for some reason. I don't know. You know, wake up in the morning and there's a fucking giant Ford what is it, an 87 Ford Escort sitting on top of your fucking neighborhood? Jesus. Alright, well, hopefully, I think that normalizes in a moment. If we cut here. Oh, I know why. I'm in the wrong level. I'm still getting used to this. So it's all about levels. Levels are inside projects. Levels are projects like the big fucking root of the tree, and levels seem to be like the branches. So we want to go to part 4 of this it's called combined part 4. It's got a whole bunch of other levels combined into it. Oh yeah, now I did a whole bunch of family photos for the scene. Now as you can see, all I had to work with was the old Michael model when I was getting AI to do these family photos. So he's still got, I guess we'll just say, oh, you know, Michael when he had his big bushy hair, he's had a haircut now. You know, Lynn, his wife, this is the new model of Lynn. Now the good thing about Lynn is she looks at least a little bit like she used to. This is the old Lynn here. So that's the old Lynn and that's the new Lynn. So she kinda, the new Lynn. And then there's the grey Lynn. Sorry, very lame ass Kiwi humour there. So yeah, so she sort of looks a lot like, well, she looks enough like how she used to. This shit up here, it's not, she doesn't actually have like regrowth. She hasn't dyed it hair or anything. This is just the way the hair looks when it's not rendered. It has this strange little, like it looks like regrowth, but it's not. She's not a punk. I know it's the 80s, but she's not a punk. She's a trad, you know, trad wife, pregnant, having sorting the family out, and he's off to war. And then you got the beautiful 91 FM building over there in Takapuna. Now we could fly over there. There is quite a lot of geometry there from my old model, but there is a lot of gaps too because obviously this scene is at, damn, that's cool. I'll never get over this. That's the thing about Unreal Engine, like you get so many little bells and whistles while you're actually in the render process, in the animation process. And it's like, I find for me being a creative type, just being able to see that while I'm working sort of kind of, you know, pushes you on. You get a bit more excited about what you're doing. It's like, oh, it looks pretty, so I'll keep working. So that in itself is a nice little reinforcement loop there. A lot of this sort of stuff would have taken forever in Maya. Good lord. Just the just the stuff, like the rendering is so much faster. It is so much quicker. It's ridiculous. There's I think, oh yeah, that's my finger. I got the surgery, what are we now? What are we, Monday? Monday, yeah. So I got the surgery on this about Wednesday last week. What they've done is they have grafted in a donor nerve tissue into my finger. So the hope is that it will sort of connect the dots between where I cut the nerve a year ago, and sort of I'll at least get some sort of feeling back in my index finger. Being left-handed, your and when you're working with, on keyboards and mouse for work, your finger, especially your index finger, really functions like a sensor. You sort of know where your hand is, because you can't always be looking what you're doing. You're looking at the screen, so it's good to know where your hand is. As you get a feel for what the keys, the shape of the keys, and when you don't have the feeling in the end of your index finger, it screws up your coordination so much. And for the last year, I've found that my work has been so impacted by just not being able to feel anything in the end of my index finger. So anyway, they've grafted in a donor nerve tissue. So the hope is in a couple of months I'll just get some feeling back in the end of the finger. Fingers crossed, eh? Anyway, let's carry on. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, there's just so much stuff here that would just take forever to do in Maya. And just being able to render stuff quickly, you can see mistakes you might have made. Almost, well, I mean, it's quick enough that it's almost on the fly, and so you can correct things really fast. There's no overnight bullshit or 3-day bullshit. I mean, look at this steam coming out of the fucking kettle. I mean, I would have had to have set up some sort of 2D card with some sort of animation set up. I wouldn't have been able to see it in real time. I would have had to have rendered it for 5 hours to see if it looked okay. Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so much about this program that's just phenomenally good. As for the house, yeah, I've done a lot of, setup. Oh yeah, more freaking AI pictures. They've made Lynn look like, she looks terrible in that photo. So, I don't know why they did that, or AI did that, but I wasn't being fussy when I got AI to do it. I just needed pictures for the house. This room here has the wallpaper that I actually had in the house I was as a baby. And I actually used, I'll see if I can find the image for you guys. I actually used a picture that I got in one of my mum's albums of me as a baby, and just in the background you can see the wallpaper. And I was able to, because it was a repeating pattern, I was able to take parts of this thing and just totally replicate it, and and then use AI to upscale it, because of course it's a shitty 80s photo, and it's come out really well. I'm really quite chuffed with the look there. Let's see if I can find the photo. Maybe I can't. Will it be in? I think it'll be here. Where are we? Pictures. No, it's not there. You see, I always put myself on the spot and I say, hey, look, I'll show you this photo. And I've probably not looked at the photo in God knows, forever. And so I've totally forgotten where it is. But that's me. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, where is it? So, yeah, from this old 80s photo, I was able to... Here we go. Oh, yeah, and same with the Wombles wallpaper. So from this old 80s photo, there I am. And that is sellotape. It's not a baggie of crack or whatever I thought it might have been. Anyway, so, yeah. This image I was able to find from this old photo. And, of course, I was able to flatten it out in Photoshop. Take most of that, the top of that, and the side of that, and the bottom of that. And then, of course, just make it up. Just repeat it and repeat it. And yeah, I reckon it's come out pretty good. I mean, if you go right in, you can see that it's been upscaled in AI. So, but yeah, I was really quite happy with this. This is the dude's, his computer office. And he's really into the Amiga 500. With it being 1989, this computer's just come out. And it's it's hot shit, you know, because when it first came out, it was very graphically advanced. It was the bee's knees for people who were like into their graphics, because at the time, you know, PCs were sort of still. I think the best thing was like sort of 2D parser adventure games. So yeah, this thing came out and it was amazing. And what I also did is I recreated a shit ton of my actual games I had when I had, because of course I had an Amiga 500, and I think we bought it at the end of '89. And so these are all the games I had. So I tracked down all the box art and Chicago 90, awesome stuff. California games, Batman, Ghostbusters 2, Thunderbirds that I could never finish. And this one, Berlin 1948, this is a little bit meta, I guess, because it's a Cold War turns hot series, and here he is with a game about the same sort of subject. So anyway, enough bullshit there. Oh yeah, and also the Womble wallpaper. I actually managed to track down. I used Luna to do a deep dive into the internet, and she tracked down a whole bunch of images that someone had taken from some wallpaper factory, and they'd actually taken scans of the Womble's wallpaper. They weren't flat though, so there was a hell of a lot of flattening out on Photoshop just to get it. But yeah, it's also wallpaper I had as a baby, as you can see there. I'm looking pretty happy with myself, and there's that behind me. I'm one of those people too. I've also recreated the pillowcases. Where is it? They've got this. I made sure they had the same pillowcases. Yeah, probably a bit neurotic, but hey, it's good fun. Okay, let's actually do something, shall we? Let's have a look. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, Bob. It's absolute. Unreal Engine 5 is nuts. Righty. Let's. Oh yeah, my mum's old alarm clock. Yeah, alright. Sorry, I'll stop it. So one thing that you'll find here, which is absolutely amazing, is that you can just take audio, and you can just input it in, and it will do the facial, or at least the mouth animations for the words, lip syncing it. I used to have to manually do every phoneme, every f, p, u. Previously, I had to manually do it all for everything that got said. And let me tell you that when I first saw that it did this, I cried. A tear actually rolled down my cheek. I was so like, oh my god, how amazing. So let's bring up the sequence. Now the sequence is sort of your like your time bar in an editing sense. You can't actually see that on this screen because I've got it on the other screen, but it's sort of like your time bar, and so you get like, you put in your animations on the characters, you put in your if you're using a rig, you put in your manual keyframe movements, things like that. But yeah, like you just get some good shit. It's Lynn complaining that she's pregnant, or you know, this dude saying, "Oh, you think this is easy for me?" And she's like, "Dude, I'm fucking pregnant."
You think this is easy for me?
And yeah, and that did not take long to put together. I mean, one thing I will say is that it does have more of a game feel to it. That for me is a little bit of a detractor. But when it's rendered, it looks a little bit better. Believe it or not, what you're seeing is not rendered. This is I guess the equivalent of in-game cutscene or whatever. When it's rendered, it looks a bit better. Right, so now he needs to respond.
You think this is easy for me?
Yeah. I don't have the line yet from the actress who wants to do the voice for her, so believe it or not, that's actually me saying that with AI, female my voice. Man, what a world, right? Okay. So let's make it expand the time bar out to the next shot. which is Michael. Michael. And we want to give him some audio. Now I think I've done this part already, so I think it's just a case of attaching the audio to his face. Sorry, the animation. Attaching the animation to his face. Let's find out together, shall we? Animation, Michael, line 4. Oh, that's right, I should probably... You got to independently attach the audio. So we'll do that. Audio track. Michael, line 4. Alright.
You think this is easy for me?
Oh, whoops, no. That's his... sorry, my bad. That's what he just said previously. Fuck, he'd get the bash if he was just like repeating... he just pulls out the... She goes, you think this... He goes, you think this is easy for me? And she goes, well, you think this is easy for me? And he goes, you think this is easy for me? He just keeps repeating himself. Shit, she'd smack him one. She'd be like, fuck, you're a shitty husband. He's not. He's a fucking champ, but, you know, for the purposes of my little shitty joke. Okay, so I need to get his next line, which is... I guess that's line 5. Line 5. Alright, cool. So do I do have that here. Have I not? Have I? Oh no, okay. I haven't done anything with it. Alright, cool. So what I'm actually doing on this other screen, which you can't see, is I'm setting up Michael's metahuman to take the audio line, process it, and move his facial mesh appropriately to what it hears. Now it's good with the lips. I personally would probably put a bit more impact into it. There probably is some sort of plugin that will do that. I don't yet know. I'm just learning the basics right now. I haven't jumped into let's go crazy with mods and plugins just yet, but I'm sure I will. And I'll most likely break it, but, you know, that's a battle for another day. So yeah, no, I would prefer the performance to be a bit more drummed up, but it does do the job. So I want Michael's face. There he is, big beautiful face. And then you just get the line, which is line 5. There it is. And then process. And sometimes it works quite well. Like if it can detect emphasis or anger in the audio line, it will make sure it puts that on the rest of the face, like the eyes and the brow, and the cheeks. So it can work quite well, but I guess, I mean, you know, it's only going to get better, isn't it? So let's see how that looks. So once you've processed it, then you export it to its own animation file, which you can then attach to his face mesh on the timeline. Now I'm probably explaining this very ham-fistedly, but as we all know, that's how I roll. Alright, so Michael, line 5, anim. And we will put that in the animation folder. And then I need to make sure I choose his face mesh as the target skeleton, or else it'll not work. And create. So now it's done that. So what I can do now on the sequencer is I can go to him, go to his face track, add an animation to it, and just choose Michael line 5. Ah. Did I not label it correctly? Oh no, I did. Line 5 anim. Yeah, okay. Cool. And then delete line 4 anim, because otherwise that'll look weird. Okay, so how does it look, I wonder? Oh, again, audio. I haven't added the audio. Let's add the audio. Alright, Michael, line 5. Alright, let's see.
Then you've got your mum here. You've got the hospital. And I've got to make sure that this place doesn't turn...
Again, that's me because I don't have the proper actor. I don't have his lines yet, but he's going to hopefully be sending me those today. So I guess you could say I'm kind of going to have to do this again once I get his lines, but it shouldn't be the hardest thing in the world because of how easy stuff is to do here. So let's see if this... I don't like how his mouth's already open. It shouldn't already be open.
Then you've got your mum here. You've got the hospital. And I've got to make sure that this place doesn't turn into Darwin or Honolulu.
Yeah, right. So, it's quite robotic, which is why up until now I've been removing the tracks, the keyframes it puts in for eyes and brow, and I'll do them manually just so that it actually feels like it's, you know, the performance is there. What I could do, which would be fantastic, and what Unreal Engine does, is it does a facial performance input as well. But you've got to have an iPhone, and I only have Android, so alas. You can get a third-party setup, but from reading a lot of the technical notes, it sounds like there's a few bugs, and I really need to make things as least complicated as I can right now, having, you know, with learning it. So, yes.
But then you've got your mum here. You've got the hospital. And I've got to make sure that this place doesn't turn into Darwin or Honolulu.
In fact,
then you've got
the line should be Sydney or Honolulu, not Darwin. I don't know why Darwin got in there. I was thinking of World War II or something. Yeah, so what I'll probably do in this case is I might actually leave this particular line, since it's going to be changed so much, not just with the voice actor but also with the words. So I might just leave that and jump to a new camera and do her next line. So pretty much create a new camera, and then you've got this thing at the top called, this track called camera cuts, and it kind of functions like a studio, like one of those studio rooms in a TV production where they're switching the cameras from a control panel. That's kind of what this track does. Yeah, so you've got to tell it, okay, go to this new camera I've just made at this frame. So I'll do that. And then we'll go back to Lynn. There you are, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Focus it. It's all very much into its focuses and its, you know, 85mm lens and that sort of thing. Okay, so this is camera 24. What you can do though is you can target the focus on a specific actor. Sometimes that works really well. Not in this case. So you have to do a little bit of tweaking sometimes. Focus offset. There we go. And then keyframe that. And her next line. Let's go to that. What did she just do? I think she just did line 4, I think. She just did line... Oh no, she just did line 3, so line 4. bring in line 4. And we will do the same thing we just did with Michael, but this time with Lynn's head. So I need to create a MetaHuman performance file, and I will call that Lynn line 4 performance. You see, I'm not one that usually labels my files, but when I first started doing stuff in here, it got messy really fast, and I lost track of where the hell everything was. So I was like, right, I need to fucking label these things, or it's just going to be a real lost cause. Okay, so... oh yeah, cool. So, line... so sorry, yeah, with the sorry, Nicholas, you asked, is this going to be the new look going forward, or will you be remaking season 1? This is going to be the new look going forward, simply because it just got way too slow with Maya. It was just getting, like, the renders were just getting so slow. I was using 8 computers to do this slow rendering, and our power bill was getting astronomical. So, yeah, this will be it going forward. What I do want to do once I've done season 1 is I want to go back and at least remake episodes 1 and 2, and then just sort of leave it there, I reckon. Not just because of the graphical changes. There's also a few story changes I want to implement with episodes 1 and 2. A bit more expanded stuff. Holy shit, Lynn, what's happened? You get this sometimes where it just disconnects the head. So yeah. Hey, Tucker39. Good to see you. Everything was Bugger Raids 1. Everything was Bugger Raids... I don't... Okay. What is Bugger Raids 1, Bob? I like your new thumbnail, Bob. That beautiful F14. Alright. So let's get the line. I need to somehow make it so that the chat stays up. How do I do that? Can I make it so it... oh, maybe I can... How do I make it so this doesn't disappear? Because I'm neglecting you guys. I'm sorry. All right. Yeah, everything. Yes, I know, right? It's like, yeah, like Bugger Raids 1, Bugger Raids 1 final, Bugger Raids 1 absolute final. Yes, it's so how it is. If I click, yeah, it's going to disappear. They need to make it so that you can have the chat constantly be on top. I wonder if you can do that. Moderation, activity, timestamps, reactions, community. No, I don't want any of that. I just want it to be on top. God damn it. Alright, maybe I can find a spot for it or something. Let's... okay, maybe I can't. God damn it. Alright. I'm going to figure this out. Alright, there we go. That should work. Sweet. Alright, I've got the chat now permanently on my screen so I won't miss anything anyone says. Okay, let's do this thing. I want to do... oh, there it is. Right, so I'm just going to make her facial animation line. No, audio. On audio, and I want line 4. Cool. What does she say in this one?
Our son is due any day, Michael. I could go into labour while you're halfway across the bloody ocean. What then?
Yeah, that's me doing a placeholder line, so probably should have had a bit more oomph to it. Anyhow, let's bring in her face. Lynn's face, there it is. Is there a button you reckon for like jumping over to another screen? I wonder if I can. It'd be cool to show you guys. Here we go, display capture. Display capture 2. And is it this one? Yeah. Alright, cool, there we go. This is what you do. So you bring in so you bring in your audio. You bring in your audio, you can choose depth footage. That's if you have like the performance footage that you filmed on an iPhone, or you have just audio. And then you select your line there. It brings it up here. You select your face mesh, which is her face mesh here, which has no. What's it doing? Okay, whatever. And then you just click process, and it does the job. And then you see how good the job looks.
Our son is due any day, Michael. I could go into labour while you're halfway across the bloody ocean. What then?
And that's good.
What?
I mean, it looks good, but I don't like the mouth being open at the beginning.
Our son is...
So what I would probably do is I would cut off all the automated keyframes it puts in to about there and have it shut, and then have it, like, take off from there.
Our son is due any day, Michael. I could go into labour while you're halfway across the bloody ocean. What then?
Yeah, I mean, it's really helpful when you consider that I used to have to do all this manually. So that's gonna definitely trim down production times, which is great news. Alright, so then you just export it as an animation file. I need to go to the animation folder, line specific, and we will call this Lynn line for anim. Save it. Jump back to the other screen. Jump back to that. Jump back to that. Jump back to that. Fucker. There we go. Alright. So now it brings you this option. It's like, okay, you want to import it. You got to make sure you choose Lynn's face again. There she is. Create. It does that. Then you can close that one. And I'll show you the what's going on here. Right. Then I will show you the, go back to the other one. This is the sequence window. So what you would do is you would find, close up Michael, that's the camera. You go to Lynn, there she is. You go to her face, and literally you just go plus, I want to add an animation to this face track, and you would find the one you just made, which in our case is Lynn line 4 anim. Boom. That's somehow removed her head, which I didn't want. Not the coolest. Oh, maybe I think I need to remove this. I'll make it not active. Oh, maybe just delete it. Go away? No? Okay. So sometimes you get problems. In this case...
Then you've got...
Okay, so in this case, I've got a problem. Lynn's head's she's been decapitated again. So we need to get her head back on. Oh my god, Lynn, you've got a floating head. So yeah, depending what order you do it in, sometimes this can be a problem. Its mouth movement's pretty good. Alright, so could be because we've got a rig on the body. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So I need to redo that. I should probably bring in the audio. So yeah, anyway, we've had, it's been a good couple of months. I've been really charging ahead as much as I can with Unreal Engine 5, making sure I've been learning as much as I possibly can. Oh, I know, right? When people are watching, shit will go wrong, and it does. But yeah, I've really been trying to just bury my head in Unreal Engine 5 so that I can get the transition between Maya and this done as quickly as possible so we can get episode 11 out. But I don't think it's gonna... I mean, it's not gonna take that long. I hate it. I cringe every time I say that.
Our son is due any day, Michael. I could go into labour while you're halfway across the bloody ocean. What then?
Now, what you could do for this as well is you could, actually, let me just check one thing before I start deleting shit. That's not even active, so that shouldn't do anything. So what you can do is you can actually add in, I know, how hard can it be? You can add in, like, you can go to this, this site. Now this for me feels kind of like cheating, but it's pretty commonly done on Unreal Engine. They'll just go to Mixamo, and it's just got all these movements. Now, obviously, it won't have everything I need, so there'll be a point where I actually will have to do some manual shit. But there's enough here, and there's stuff you can mask, and there's stuff you can like mix. Like you can actually mix together two animations. Like you just give them both 0.5 weightings and put them at the same time on the timeline, and it'll literally do a hybrid animation of two different things on here. So it's really good. Like you can end up coming up with something you want for what the person's saying. I mean, it's never that straightforward. It's going to be there's going to be points where and there already have been points where I've had to manually do body movements just to sort of coincide with whatever they're saying. But in this case, Lynn's not happy, so we do need to have her sitting down on the bed, so I could try re-adding... Let's try re-adding a control rig. Okay. And if we bring her down... No, it's not going to let us do it. It's going to say, no, her head belongs up here. Her head will stay with us. So that's annoying. Maybe I should do the body animation first before I start fucking around with the head stuff. Okay, so I think in this case what you have to do is you actually have to delete them and bring them back in. Because this is what I had to do with Michael when it happened to him. Oh yeah, so I need to check I've not got anything on here that I need to...
Easy for me?
Easy for me, and that's when... What does she say after that? You think it's easy for me? Oh yeah, shit. I have something on here I need to render before I do any changes. So I should probably...
else.
Alright, I need to control Z. There's some stuff on here that I actually had to render before I started. Oh man, I hope I haven't broken it. I'll have to do that again. Oh no! I may have made some more work for myself. Have I undone everything I can? Alright, let's close this level and try and load it up again. And not save. Maybe that'll help us. Ah! Success, motherfuckers! Alright, cool.
Then you've got your mum here. Then you've got your...
No, shut up, Michael.
You think this is easy for me?
Yeah, I need to render that before I start
You think-
disassembling her control rig in order to do the next line. In fact, though, now that I've got it back to what it was, I could probably just do this differently, in a different order. But anyway, guys, look, you probably don't want to keep watching me fluff about with this. It's like watching a brain fart in real time. So I'll wrap this up. This really has just sort of functioned as a how do I make this? There we go. So this has sort of just functioned as an update for the month, for the last 2 months actually, just to sort of show you what I've been doing, what I've been learning, and you know, how it's looking. So yeah, pretty much, if you want to get behind the project and support me, then go you. Go you, that would be awesome. But yeah, I think we're on a good track here with the work on Unreal Engine 5. It's looking so much better than what it did. And the process, as I get more used to it, is just going to go quicker and quicker. The render times are amazing. So yeah, I hope that this does function as a good update. I am sorry, I just thought about doing a whole update video, and I thought that's going to take a whole day away from me to do it. I'd rather, you know, it's probably better to spend it, you know, working on this, just do like a live video or something. But yes, I hope everyone is having a very safe May, and you had a safe April too. And yes, I shall catch you all later. Next month, I really hope to do a proper update video. Hopefully by then I'll be a lot more comfortable in this new program, and it won't be so much of a, you know, I can't afford to lose a day on this, etc. So yeah. Alright guys, so you take care, and I will talk to you soon.